sometimes it's really okay not to know what you want, to not know the next logical step or the next right move. The truth is, we can drive ourselves mad seeking clarity. At certain times in our life, we have to be very brave and sit in the somewhat dark space of uncertainty.
Because no amount of thinking things through, forcing or pushing is going to help. In this episode, we share our own personal experience and offer advice on how to embrace not knowing and how to move through it with love and grace. Hi, I'm James Davis.
And I'm Claire Davis.
We're the Midlife Mentors, here to lift the lid on how to achieve health and happiness.
The balanced, no-nonsense way. Hello and welcome to the Midlife Mentors with me, Claire.
And with me, James. You see, I learnt from last week, I let you go first this time.
That's why I'm laughing. I was giggling straight away as soon as we start recording the podcast, because I did say in the last one, James always says, hello and welcome to the Midlife Mentors first. So I knew you were just going to give me a silent treatment then. Silent treatment.
Well, welcome. We are joining you from a wet and cold London. I mean, it's nearly May. I think this time last year
we were bathing in the...
Yeah, we were doing lots of workouts in the park. It was warm weather. It's about 7 or 8 degrees and drizzly, so...
I know. And we just started working in some co-working space down in Camden today, which was really fun.
Very exciting.
Really, really nice. Labs. So if no one's ever checked it out, it's Labs co-working space. And it's really amazing. And what's more, we found out, we didn't know this when we decided to sign up, we found out that they've got a gym. Hallelujah.
True
it's the little
story.
things.
We are now based out of the world famous Camden Market in London.
Yeah.
We really are. And yeah, they were showing us around this morning for our first induction. And they're like, and here's the gym. And we're like, oh my goodness.
Free coffee, free biscuits. Obviously not going near the biscuits. But yeah, it's really, really exciting because... Obviously, I think a lot of people, I think they're quite busy with a co-working space because a lot of people have obviously been inside their four walls, especially in London. The space isn't big and a lot of people don't have outside space. So just actually creating that distance between your home environment and your work environment is really, really important to a lot of people, I think. So it's just nice.
It was great. It's great to have a change of scene, just be set there, kind of looking out on all the hustle and bustle of Camden Market.
And all the trendy kids, of which we are not trendy kids, but yeah, it was lovely. So, we just wanted to talk to you today about something we alluded to actually at the beginning of last week's podcast, but we're going to go into it a little bit more. I don't think it'll be that long, who knows. But it's basically around indecision and when you just actually don't know what you want, when you don't know the step forwards, when you don't know the logical step or the next right move. And we've titled this actually, Don't Force It. So...
This is a great one to talk about. We've kind of been in this place a bit ourselves recently.
A lot, actually.
And we know, actually, like a lot of people out there are feeling like this as well. A lot of people have contacted us and said they're feeling the same way.
Yeah.
People posting they feel the same way. So that's what we're going to talk about. Before we go on to that, this is the Midlife Mentors. I just remembered, Claire, when you said, with all the young things in the market.
Yeah, the young things, the young whippersnappers.
Well, now we are midlife. And no, it's going to make it sound really old now. I realise we can still be wearing our clothes. They've actually gone full circle back into fashion. All that 90s stuff is back in now.
I know.
But also, I read today, apparently only the middle-aged order cappuccinos. The Gen Zs, they've got these trendy coffees they go for. Then they're like, only ancient people would order a cappuccino. It's like so passé now.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm going to order it more. But yeah, no, but honestly, the DMs are looking amazing. The high-waisted jeans are looking amazing.
Straight-leg jeans, they're back in.
Straight-leg jeans, the crop tops, the bomber jackets.
Bucket hats.
Unbelievable.
A lot of rave gear. It looks like channeling a lot of rave gear.
I just love it. I love it. Yeah, so going on to not forcing it. So James and I have definitely been feeling this recently. There is a myriad of options for us right now. of where to live, what to do. We even started looking at long-term office space in London. We'd literally been faced with so many different options in the last couple of months, and it really did throw us. It still has to a degree, but I think the reason we want to talk to you about this is because there are some tips and tools that we have done for ourselves to create a little bit more stability. But what we wanted to say, it's more of like this podcast is more like to say you're not alone. Less to give you lots and lots of detailed strategies to go away with, but we'll share how we are moving through it ourselves in real time. But just to say you're not alone if you are just completely overloaded with not knowing what the next logical step is or the next right move. But just before we came on here, James and I were discussing this, and we were saying, you know, what we don't want to do is make this sound like it goes against what we normally say, which is we're not saying stop. We're not saying stop doing what you're doing. We're just saying it's okay not to know the next logical step or what you want. Even what you want. It's okay to be in that place of not knowing what you want. Not even the next logical step, what you want. But this is very different to procrastination. So it's very different to not doing anything because it's based on fear or what other people think or self-sabotage, all those sorts of things. It's not that at all. And knowing the difference does take a lot of self-awareness. But what we wanted to say is they are two different things, but sometimes you do just have to sit in the unknowingness. It takes a very brave person to actually sit in the somewhat dark space of uncertainty because, quite frankly, as we always say, humans are hardwired for certainty.
Yeah, I was going to say, Claire, it's about celebrating the wonder of uncertainty. But even as I'm saying that, the paradox of this is, if you let everything unravel, like all aspects of your life, and be uncertain in all of them, you're probably not going in the right direction. So what you want to do is actually, calm your subconscious by look at elements where you are certain. Do you have a certain body goal? Do you enjoy keeping fit? You know what you're doing with your business? You know what you're doing with your relationship? Focus on the stuff that you do know where it's going, and just make sure you're bedding in your routine for that stuff. Because giving yourself a break in one area or multiple areas if you need to is great, and just allowing yourself to sit with the uncertainty and see what the universe presents you. But you want to back that up by in the areas where you are more sure of what you're doing, taking action, being consistent, stopping, just to give that reassurance to your subconscious, to your psyche that not everything is untethered and loose. That there are elements of certainty. You've got control over this. You've got control over that. Perceived control, because we never really have control. But we're just sending those signals, which will make it actually, paradoxically, easier to sit with the uncertainty in other areas and feel more at ease with that, and then let the answers come to us.
Yeah, that's beautifully put, because I think that's what's happened to us. There are so many things that, there are parts that I don't even know what I want in my life anymore. You're on a path, and it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to change direction as well. That's what we want to say. It's okay to reevaluate what you want. There are certain things I was like, yeah, absolutely, this is what I want. And now, just in the last couple of months, I'm like, actually, I don't know whether that is what I want. But now I'm left with not knowing what I want. And that's actually sometimes worse. And it is very brave and courageous to sit in that. And actually just acknowledging it and being vulnerable enough to say that's how I feel. And having a wonderful man in my life where I can say that. And he feels the same, and just talking it through is really good. So one of the things I would say is do share it. Do be vulnerable. Do talk to people about this, because it will really help actually formalising some stuff in your head, just talking out and getting out of your head and just talking about it.
Yeah, I would second that. Your subconscious loves you getting this stuff out and loves you asking questions around it. So if you can talk to someone, that's great. The other thing you can do, of course, is journal. And just kind of do what we call free write. Just write down whatever comes to you, and you often be surprised at what might come out. Yeah,
but I just, want to say to you, I've been driving myself crazy with going for literally flipping from one decision to the next in mere moments, and obsessing over the pros and cons. And what James is saying about creating certainty and routine and structure in your life, that is 100% what we've done, even though it hasn't felt to me like enough. I'm like, I'm still unsure. I'm less so now, but a couple of weeks ago it was really bad. But actually just getting up, doing my affirmations, making the bed, doing things in order and an orderly fashion, because my brain is like all over the place, but actually it does exactly what James said. It does like the things where I can create certainty and then elements of structure, like going to the gym at a certain time, doing this, doing my coaching calls at the same time, all those things, even creating a podcast, doing this has been a beautiful thing to create structure. Whereas normally, it's one of those things that's part of the whole. It's actually really, really given James and I a focus, this podcast, more, I would say, than in previous months, because actually it is the one thing that we do every week. It's structure, it goes out to the world, and we receive lovely comments on it and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's one of the things that you just need to do is create some certainty, even if it's just getting up and making your bed and doing those normal things that you might have thought were mundane. But now they become very, very good at anchoring you into the present moment.
Yeah, so you're feeling uncertain. What should you do? Well, the first thing I would say there is like establish what areas of your life you do have a perceived high level of certainty, and just make sure those routines are embedded. So you're actually building that safety net of certainty around the areas that you do feel safe in. Then for the parts that you're not, don't be afraid just to sit with it and ponder. Like, ideally, talk to someone about it, journal it. One thing I would say is, though, try and set parameters around it, because what can also happen is you can get what I call uncertainty creep.
Or paralysis. Analysis paralysis.
So you can actually say, for us, for example, should we be living in Marbella or London? We're not sure. So should we live in this area or that area? And then before you know it, you're looking at then you're looking at cars, and you've gone from uncertainty, like something you weren't even thinking about. That's what I mean by the uncertainty creep. So set parameters around it. Try and focus in on the thing that you are uncertain with, which sounds odd, and then sit with that and work through that and spend the time.
I'll give you an example, actually. So actually, I removed things that were causing me to literally flip there, flip there, flip there, flip there. So, I had a Rightmove app looking, because I'm selling my flat in Hazelmere, so I was looking at places we might be able to buy, and then I'm looking at places we might be able to rent, and then I'm looking at places in Spain that we can rent and then buy. I was literally, James and I were like, oh my goodness, look what's happening. And I was filling my mind with more and more confusion. So actually, just allowing yourself to journal, to talk, to sit with it without kind of allowing your mind to go here, there and everywhere. I know it's easier said than done, but try and remove those things that are, look at your pattern of behaviour, be aware of what you're doing that creates that kind of feeling of anxiety within you, and actually just remove them for a while, because they're really, really not helping. So I actually deleted the Rightmove app, deleted the Idealista app, deleted I knew they weren't helping me, so removing those things is what really, really helped. But, here's the thing. Sometimes you do just have to surrender. And at critical moments in my life, for sure, when I have done that, it does leave space for getting a bit spiritual here, but for the universe to show you the way that you might not have seen before. When you're constantly holding on and running after the how and the what and the, oh my God, I need to know, you're closing yourself off so much. You're limiting your vision, basically. Your inner guidance system. You're limiting it and shutting it down, because you're kind of saying, this is what I think is going to happen. This is the way I think. This is the way I think. Shooting all over the place. And actually, you're not leaving space for your true nature, your true self, your higher self, the universe to come in and say, actually, it might be this, it might be that. And I know that in my life, sometimes that's come in when I least expect it. I'm obsessing over a way I want it to be, and then the universe just comes in and goes, no, it's this way. And I was so focused and so obsessed with looking at certain things that I couldn't see what was staring me right in the face. So just, try not to be in desperation for comfort. Because if you make a decision from that place, often it's from a place of fear and anxiety, not because it's the actual right next step to take. So my advice is try to notice that if you're not sure about something, that alone has meaning. And obviously in the absence of not knowing, once we do know, even stronger. Does that make sense, right? in the absence of not knowing, when you finally do know, that gut instinct, that butterfly thing, that, oh my goodness, it's only in the not knowing that you can really experience that, what is truly right for you. And we often say there's no light without dark. You don't know the light until you've experienced the dark. You don't know the knowing until you've experienced the not knowing. So just try as hard as you can to remove that noise, remove those things, and sit in a place of allowing and trusting that actually your obsessing is doing more harm than good, and to just be at rest and take that brave, courageous step to just be in rest of not knowing what you want. Because that's an exciting place to be as well, right? James said this to me the other day. He was like, that's an exciting place to be. What are the positive aspects of that? Well, anything could happen.
Exactly. You know, when you're uncertain, basically it probably means all options are open. You know, when we commit to a certain path, then by the very nature of that committal, we're shutting down other things. You know, we have to say, like, when you commit to one thing, you sacrifice something else. When you have the beauty of sitting in uncertainty, all the options are open for you. I want to say, relate to that and what Claire was saying as well. You know, this quiet desperation. Sometimes, you know, remember that our subconscious loves that feeling of certainty. It will try and persuade us, you know, sit there and go, right, take massive action doing this. It's the last thing you want to be doing, because you'll know even as you're taking it that doesn't feel right. And, you know, I can't really quantify this, but you don't be afraid to sit in that space and wait. And when it feels right, you'll know, and that's the time to take massive. You know, we're all about, you know, if you listen, we're all about massive action and the tools to like guarantee your success. But you've got to be on the right road. You've got to know like what you're shooting for in the first place. So don't go off half-cocked.
Just thinking that you have to act
and go. Because there is a beauty in that uncertainty and allowing all possibilities to kind of flow to you, and then actually decide where you want to go.
It really is, and it just, there is that fine line of not pushing too hard, pushing for clarity, and making a step that's coming from desperation and anxiety and fear, rather than the place of your true self, your true nature, your true guidance system. So one of the things we'll leave you with, you know, we always leave you with top tips, but we're not really going to do that. We're just going to, I suppose, recap and just say, you know, remove those things that are if you can, remove yourself from those things that are really, really causing like real uncertainty, real confusion for you to flip-flop around. Be really aware of what's going on for you. Please don't be afraid to sit in the not knowing, because you know that at some point you will, and trust that you will. Please talk to someone and allow yourself to get these things out, and just find someone that doesn't mind, your best friend, your partner, whatever, that doesn't mind you keep saying the same things over and over again, because actually some moment it will click for you. And focus on the things that you do have right now. Focus on the things you can do. So creating certainty, bit of routine, bit of structure, because you don't know that it's making a big difference, but it will be. But also focus on the things that you do have right now that are great in your life. We always say this, but you know, gratitude is the absolutely the magic potion to everything. Gratitude and giving. Just move into that space of gratitude for what you do know, what you do have, what is anchoring you and tethering you to yourself right now. And then just allow the rest to flow for a little bit. And know that the not knowing means that something amazing and immensely exciting is just around the corner for you, because it's always darkest before dawn, right? There's always more turbulence before some really amazing stuff happens. That's what I know personally. That's what I've seen in all the people I've coached. That's what I've seen in friends and family. It always feels darkest before dawn. It always feels more turbulent when you're about to have a massive breakthrough. So just trust that and follow your instincts. And that's what we really wanted to say, because we've been experiencing this so much ourselves. I think it's such a weird, crazy, uncertain time, and it is causing that energy is causing that in our lives as well, that sense of uncertainty in our lives, because that energy is out in the world as well. So the collective consciousness is affecting us, of course. And I would say, obviously, I'm always about the moon cycles. We've had a big old pink supermoon a couple of days ago. So I know that was really, really unsettling lots of people. So
Got some great shots of that if you go check our socials of the big pink supermoon over London from Primrose Hill.
It was beautiful. But we would love to know your thoughts on this. Please reach out. Like, we said, journal, reach out to people that that will understand. We are clearly illustrating that we understand what's going on for so many of you right now, because it's going on for us. But just reach out to us at team@themidlifementors.com. Go onto our Facebook group, the Midlife Mentors Community. We're also doing a coffee morning. So we've been doing coffee mornings for the last few months, quite a few months now, every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. inside our Facebook group. But now we are moving to doing them every first Sunday of the month. So it will be this Sunday, 10 a.m. UK time. But we're going to do them via Zoom. So if you join our mailing list and you join our Facebook group, go in there. The details for that Zoom link are in there. The reason we're doing that is because we want to see you. You don't have to have your camera on, but it's more interactive than just doing it on Facebook where you have to type everything in and type your questions. It's just a lot more personal, and we want to see you. We want to really, really make sure that you're getting a lot out of those coffee mornings. So that's 10 a.m. on Sunday, first Sunday of every month. But if you'll get the link if you're on our Facebook, in our Facebook page, or on our email list. And that is about all we've got for you. So
until next time,
we are sending you so much love, and you take care of yourselves. Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Midlife Mentors with Claire and James Davis.
We'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line at info@themidlifementors.com with any questions or topic suggestions.
And make sure you join us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find us under the Midlife Mentors.
Yeah.